Hello, welcome all of you. Finally, we are here on week 7 of our model on this educational leadership course, and I am here to share with you my final project on uh, technology leadership project, and it will be focusing on a high school in Ghana called Mfantsipim Senior High School. So quickly, let's go into it. All right, so by way of introduction, Mfantsipim High School or Mfantsipim School is a single-sex school which is mainly made up of boys, and it's a boarding secondary school found in the Cape Coast metropolitan city of Ghana. It's a long time, or it's an old school which was established in the 1976 by the Methodist Church. And the mission or the aim of it was to foster intellectual, moral, and spiritual growth in the then Gold Coast, because Ghana was called Gold Coast before it became Ghana. And it strives to develop future-ready students to prepare them for the rapidly growing digital world. And this assessment will utilize the future-ready framework to evaluate the readiness of the school and also set up some kind of recommendations. So for our introduction, like I said, we are looking at the vision of the digital learning, future ready framework overview. We shall also look at the curriculum and instruction assessment, talk about the scheduling or the use of time. We also look at technology networks and hardware. Then we'll talk about the privacy and analytics, data privacy and analytics. And then we'll look at leadership professional learning at uh, Mfantsipim School, just as I highlighted in my project. And then, of course, trying to implement this future ready framework and will definitely come with challenges. So we'll look at the challenges and then I'll try to state some recommendations that can help in this particular implementation of this project. And then finally talk about the conclusion and the next steps to take. So the vision for digital learning. And with regards to this particular course, which is technology leadership, so we are looking at the integration of the technology, and this will not be feasible without inclusion of the leadership or technical leadership responsibilities to make this happen. And so this the vision or the school envisions that students who are to come out or to bring out students who are digitally literate to be able to use technology for independent learning, collaboration, as well as becoming responsible citizenship. And there are digital tools that are meant to empower problem solving, to bring out the creativity and the innovativity, and also make sure that these students who come out from Mfantsipim School are not just coming out as SSS graduate, but it will be a lifelong learning and bring out some kind of practical or innovative citizens into Ghana. Now, the future ready framework, which we have talked about in the previous weeks, we know how it is. That is made up of seven, and some people say it's made up of the AGS, and which includes the technology, the curriculum, the time, technology frameworks, the data privacy, community partnership, as well as professional learning and budget. And we are going to use that to make sure that the framework to make sure that the aim or the vision of Mfantsipim School to assess it to see whether it's feasible or how it can be made to work. Now, so for curriculum instruction and assessment, and so the current practices in Mfantsipim School include flexible and personalized instruction with the use of technology and the use of adaptive tools, blended learning, digital assessment. And there is progress, but there need to be some kind of consistency in technology integration and real-world analytics. And this is from ISTE 2026 and the one that of report for 2028. So even though there is in most of the things that are in line with technology integration in Mfantsipim School. Most of them have been things that have been laid down by the school through the ministry to implement them in the schools. And of course, there has been some personalized integration. There has been some use of adaptive technology tools. There has been some kind of the use of digital assessment platforms. And so we can see that there's progress in the school with regards to technology integration. And but there should more, or there needs to be more improvement in terms of most of the things had to do with resources, and that is what we should or the school should focus on. So the leadership should prioritize the advancement of resources or to expand the amount of resources that are being laid down or that are being committed to this particular project to make sure that it becomes effective. In some instances, with regards to the scheduling, Mfantsipim School shows, like I said, it's a boys' school, but it's showing some kind of flexible schedules as well as block periods in terms of its scheduling and time. More time has to be devoted or given to the students when it comes to this kind of development or training with ICA technology. And we see that most of the schools in Ghana, for example, now are trying to move on to the online admissions system, almost all of them, through the ministry or the district, which Infantipim School is no exception. So it incorporates flexible assessment schedules, block periods, and competence-based loss of learning support for each student needs to maximize the technology of power of the technology of power for the time being, and to be able to use this kind of tools or skills that they have gained over time and everywhere they find themselves. And as you can see in this picture right here, the alumni or all students of the school have contributed their quota to the donation of laptops. So this picture that you hear were a section of the old schools, the old students or the alumni from Mfantsipim School, they were donating some laptops to the school ICT laboratory to also facilitate this integration of technology in the school. There are also instances where NGOs and other civil society organizations also go there to help in raising structures and infrastructure to help this particular technology integration in Mfantsipim School. So infrastructure and network readiness. So like I said, the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service, has made it a universal policy for internet access in almost all the senior high schools. So ICT devices as well as STEM labs are still demanding, even though, like I said, it's a government policy that has been rolled out. Uh, Most of the schools or majority of high schools have it, which Mfantsipim is not an exception. They have this internet access in the school. They have STEM lab, they have ICT devices that are used to help the integration of technology in the school. And like I said in the previous slide, alumni and partners help to fund or upgrade the current versions of the technology platforms that we have in the school. And the challenges that the schools are still facing is the availability and a full program, plus the recruiting of tech staff. So the associations, though, the Old Student Association of Mfantsipim are also helping to recruit because mostly in the high schools, we have uh, one or two ICT teachers, which is not enough, or technology teachers, which is not enough to looking at the growing demands of high school students in bigger high schools like Mfantsipim School. So the Mfantsipim Old Boys Association, which is the alumni association of the school, is also helping to bring on board more professional trained teachers in this field of technology integration to help make sure that this project is also fully implemented. Data privacy. So robust data protection policy exists, and with faculty or teachers training on the privacy of data, secure iCloud solutions to support data management, integration of more analytics or unified metrics that could uh, instructional decision making and resource allocation. And this is from the Future Ready 2021 platform. So the school is trying its best to educate the faculty and the staff who are involved in this particular technology integration project. And even though some already exist, there should be more education on it and continuous professional development to make sure that the staff who handle this particular project are made to know the current and innovative ways to help protect the data of the school as well as the students and staff. Leadership and professional learning. So leadership is collaborative with high expectations. There are ongoing teacher trainings, peer coaching, and external learning that help to build digital pedagogical skills or more structured professional development, which I said earlier on, remains of a priority. And we saw that in the IST report of 2017. So the teacher develop training should be aligned with the country's vision of making sure that technology integration becomes something of key importance to high schools. And of course, Mfantsipim School is also doing peer coaching and other seeking assistance from other external learning bodies to improve the pedagogical skills of our teachers, and also sometimes organize some kind of professional development programs that can help to build the capacity of these teachers. Yes, so in the beginning, I mentioned that even though we are trying to implement this technology integration, it can never come without challenges. And one of the challenges is inconsistent use of technology and assessment. So as a result of out of resources and funds, sometimes there's a breakage in the use. High data prices in the country is also a problem. So sometimes schools can run out of internet or internet data, and there needs to be more funding as to that. Of course, there is insufficient tech integration training, like I mentioned. Uh, Technology keeps evolving. Every now and then, there's new thing coming up. So there should be training and continuous professional development trainings to help the teaching and non-teaching staff who are working in this particular technology integration project be abreast with the current skills in order not to be left behind. There's also need for centralized data analytics, and that is a bigger problem because we need more funds and more infrastructure to be able to handle this centralized data analytics, and that will also be an issue that need to be taken care of, or that will hinder the implementation of this agenda. Limited evaluation of tech impact on learning. Yeah, so even though it is being used, there is limited evaluation, and I think this is also one of the greatest challenges that we will face, or Mfantsipim Senior High School are currently facing with regards to technology integration. My recommendations are that number one is that we multiple school has to formalize tech integration into their curriculum. And two, they should increase ongoing tech-focused staff training to help to build the capacity of the teachers to help in the implementation of this agenda. They should also develop and deploy analytics for student outcomes. The next recommendation is that they should use international EdTech standards to adapt to be adapted for that of Ghana and for that matter for that of Mfantsipim Senior High School. And last but not the least is that they need to evaluate the impact and align the budget with evidence-based results to help or increase the motivation of the stakeholders to increase the amount of money or the infrastructure that will be needed for the implementation of this project. To conclude, I believe that with strong leadership, strategic partnership and investment infrastructure and professional learning. Mfantsipim can become a national K-12 digital transformation leader institution with best practices that will drive a sustainable growth for the future of Ghana. These are my references that I use for this particular presentation. And thank you very much for joining me, and see you.